Do you want your kids cooking dinner? One of the best things that I have done is get my kids excited about cooking. Not only does that take making dinner off my plates a few days a week, but it also helps them learn some really, really important life skills. We are huge fans of all of the America Test Kitchen kids cookbooks. This one is the Complete Cookbook for Young Scientists, and it is just as good as all the other ones, but it has an added benefit of teaching kids about the science of food, and it is fantastic. I'm going to give you a look at the inside of this book. First of all, the book itself is hardcover and it's very, very sturdy. My daughter uses this heavily and it is still in great shape, looks brand new. The book starts out by giving you a really good introduction to safe kitchen practices, how to use the book, some ideas for experimenting with food, and some food prep ideas. I love that they have step by step photos, and they do this throughout this book as well as in all of their other books. But it makes it really easy for kids to see instead of just reading the instructions, which they are very clear over here too. Kids can actually see step by step what they need to do, and it helps those visual learners and kids that just don't have as much experience in the kitchen. The photos are great. You can see all the way through the book. They have those great photos. One of the things I really love too is on each recipe, if there's a step that kids might not be familiar with, like browning butter here, it will actually do this little insert that explains what browning butter means, how you do it, why it's important, and then has extra information that kids may need to know. We have really enjoyed every recipe that has been made for us from this cookbook. I know my daughter has really found some new foods that she's loved. So this one's for roasted cauliflower. They have some really good little visual representations on each recipe, so it makes it easy to see what you need. You've got the ingredients and the equipment separately on here, so you know exactly what you need to prepare before starting to cook. And then again, like on this one, it talks about cutting the cauliflower into wedges. It doesn't just tell you to do that in the instructions, it gives you a clear little cutout explaining how you do that for kids who may not understand how to properly cut up cauliflower. This also includes some really great science tips that are not included in some of the other cookbooks. For example, this talks about why some cheeses melt better than others, and it goes into the science behind each of the processes on these recipes. Here, it's got understanding your results. I am just so impressed with how thorough this is. Not only are these recipes things that kids are excited to eat, it also introduces them to some new ingredients. Here's a basic recipe for fajitas, but then it talks about the different ways to season it, how to know if your chicken's cooked all the way through, and this one even goes into some of the chemistry behind the science of cooking chicken. So I would highly, highly recommend this book. It is a fantastic option. I have been slowly buying every single cookbook in this series because I've been so impressed with it. Honestly, even as an adult cooking, like I will sometimes go and grab a recipe out of this book just because there's so many great recipes in here and they do such a great job of explaining the process step by step. This has definitely been a great purchase and one that gets used almost daily at my house. I highly, highly recommend this as a gift for kids. I got this for my daughter, and she has been making dinner several days a week and telling me all kinds of fun facts that she has learned about food. So, this makes a great gift for kids or teens. It's just a fantastic book overall, and it's one of the best purchases that we've made in a while.